the same thing with that level of self forgiveness and giving yourself grace. Like the more you routinely do it, welcome to the very first episode of All God's Grace, which honestly feels fitting because that's the only reason why and how I made it here today is grace. Life is loud. Schedules are absolutely insane. Somebody's always crying. Could have been me, which I am now. But here we are and bringing together this beautiful chaos. So if your life feels like a juggling act when sometimes you're on the side of Lord help me, then welcome, because this podcast is for you. I am Kendra. I started this show for one simple reason. I just don't like being alone. Not in a dramatic way, but I always want to be part of a group. Like I've been a sorority, Girl Scouts, just always part of something bigger. And when life gets loud and things pile up, before I know it, I've pulled back without even realizing it. I forget that there are people that want to show up for me, and I forget to let them. So this podcast is my way back to connection, and hopefully yours too. A place where we can be honest, we can grow together, and remind ourselves that we are not meant to do life solo. And the only thing that we really need is all God's grace. Today, we are talking about something that everybody wrestles with, and it's simply being a better human. The habits that pull us closer to who we want to be, and the habits that quietly pull us away. So these 5 women have lived it, learned from it, and we are all here to share the real stuff, the growth, the setbacks, and the small steps that actually make a difference. Thanks, guys, gals, for coming today. We made it. We're here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start just giving a little bit of your story. You first,
And
Allison.
I'm first.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Allison. I am, in my professional life, a trauma physician assistant. Before that, earned other degrees that I don't use. I was an occupational therapist too. So I've gone to school for too many years for a degree that I use once a week. And aside from that, we bought a house like a year ago. We just rolled on a year ago because it was Halloween with Kendra. No, it's okay. And we're doing like full remodeling on it. So I feel like a lot of my time at home is spent managing the contractors and keeping the projects moving along, which is like a whole job in and of itself. As I'm learning, it's what my father did. So it makes me feel a little bit of like ties to my dad to do that. And I'm a mom. We have a 4-year-old son and one on the way. So I'm 4 months pregnant. And yeah, so we're living in toddler stage, in home chaos, in trying to mesh work schedules. I work full 24-hour shifts at a hospital. It's like an hour and a half away. So when I'm gone, I'm totally gone. And I have to rely on my tribe, my fiance, people to help because I'm away. So that's the time when I'm able to separate and step into, being in the medical world. But when I'm home, it's home stuff or teaching fitness. So I teach Legree at a studio in Bridge Park. Yeah, well, that's me. Trying to be in the growth phase.
Okay. Yeah. And don't forget what phase you're in.
I gotta step that way.
Thank you.
I'm Callie Lovejoy, and I'm a wife. I've got 3 kids who are 8, 6, and 3.5. I homeschool them, and I'm also a marketing manager for my family's home remodeling business, and I'm a total nerd. Like, it took everything I had to not wear my shirt that has, like, beakers on it with flowers in it. But I'm a scientist by training. That's what I went to college for, and then totally switched into marketing. So I also have, like, 3 degrees that I don't use. And I am definitely in a growth phase. God has been really good, and he set me aside for a rest phase, and now he's calling me back out to the battlefield.
Sounds crazy.
Yeah.
You're up.
Okay. So I'm Priscilla, and I have one child. She's 10. I'm from Mexico originally, and I moved to the States when I was 11, not knowing a word of English. So that was probably a whole other story. But being bilingual, I was doing nothing with knowing Spanish. And my husband's like, "Why don't you teach Spanish?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I know Spanish." So I just started teaching Spanish 2 years ago. And I went to school for massage therapy. So I'm a massage therapy. I've been married for 12 years. But in those 12 years, we've moved 7 times, I think.
So
and you've been part of it too. So I would say my season right now would be adapting, like adapting to where God's taken me and what He wants me to do. Yeah.
I'm Mary, and I have 3 kids. My husband, they are 5, 8, and 10. And our 2 oldest go to a non-traditional school, and our youngest is in kindergarten and traditional school. So it's pretty much it. And my phase, I have to say growth, but I feel like different parts of my life are different phases.
Wait, you forgot about building a whole entire house in another state.
Yeah, so we're building in Montana, and the roof is going on this week. And I've got to go see my home, the future home, with my mom, just the 2 of us, which was really special. And we went up to Glacier National Park, and we went to Yellowstone, and we went and had some champagne and buried the bottle. First, she was going to put it by our bedroom window, and I was like, Mom, that's kind of weird. So we put it by the dining room room, not bedroom. And it was a really good experience that I needed to have, I think, with my mom. So, because she's really sad we're moving, because I live on the same street as my mom and dad, the same street as my sister, her husband, and their 3 kiddos, and down the street from my other sister and her wife. So
That'll be another episode.
Yeah.
The why.
When's your move date?
don't know.
Me.
It's a surprise in the summer.
When's your estimated?
July, August. Rodeo every July that we love. That's in the community. It's a small community. That we want to make it for.
Okay.
So we've been there for
We have an event.
3 years. Yep, we have an event.
I am Mal. I have a 4-year-old. Nope, he's 5. He's 5. And I am a healthcare attorney. I own a yoga studio. And I was going to say growth because for me, I feel like I'm always growing. That might be the doer in me, just constantly trying to move forward and better myself, better my family. But I think right now it might be being adaptable. My mom just got diagnosed with a very serious illness, so it makes me very sad and I have to adapt to that. I would love to have a second kid, just doesn't happen like this, so I have to adapt to that. So I would say it's growth. I always want to move forward, but I have to also pause and be adaptable. So that's where I'm at right now.
So good. So good. Well, thanks, ladies. You kind of set me up with a layup here because today's theme is we either cultivate habits that move us closer to who we want to be or habits that quietly pull us away. So I feel such a strength and just a magnetic pull in this little half moon circle here because you guys don't understand how successful you are. And it's funny because from the outside looking in, like I myself know that it's hard to realize I guess it's the definition of success, but alone with what you all just said, like that is so amazing that you've birthed children and raised them. And whether or not how good we're doing at that is another episode, but it's the habits that we have that I want to share. The good, the bad, and the ugly so that somebody else listening can find that and maybe also just see that they're awesome too. And maybe a lack of self-reflection is not showing that. So I did some math and this was actually mind-blowing. And it was funny because my husband thought I was wrong. And he double-checked me with a calculator and it was great. But I calculated the number of months I was pregnant, injecting IVF drugs, breastfeeding, or pumping. I think that's it. Are those all pregnancy-related things? Is that it?
Those are.
It was.
Yeah. How long are you like
calculator?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes. Yeah.
But it was 53.3% of the last decade.
That's crazy.
8.3% of the last decade, I've been donating my body to children. Now, here's what's crazy. In the last decade, and I'm not bragging here, this is why we're here at the table. I have created a real estate business and a team with almost 14 million in sales in 2025. So all of that was in this time that 53.33333% I've been pregnant in the last decade. So that to me was, I couldn't even believe it. I was like, wow, I am successful. This is amazing. But I really want to narrow in, especially going into a new year. I thought that was a great time to get all of us together here to put some of these habits out. And I stumble a lot. Those are going to be in the bad habits, but just to share some of those things that have helped us move forward and Maybe you're already doing them, maybe you're not doing them, or maybe they're in the back of your head. I need to be doing them more. But yeah, so habits that change your life. Are we ready? Okay, so yeah, the first one is just show up. Sometimes the win is simply showing up, even for 30 minutes of uninterrupted time with your kids, with your spouse, with your family. Presence changes everything. So, Callie, Allison, you want to chime in on that one?
Okay.
Go for it.
And when Kendra kind of asked us in the group, start thinking about these things. And somebody else touched on it. I thought it's really easy to think about all the things that I want to work on right now, because I feel like I'm in that like stagnant phase and I want to move into growth. But we've had so many things going on in the last year, between moving, between my mom falling ill and passing away, between shifting of like my work schedule, even my work status. I worked full-time to part-time to now I'm just contingent. So I pick when I want to work, which allows some flexibility, but it puts me at home a lot or with people that need me. Sometimes you just have to set back your to-do list. Like, I love a to-do list, Mallory. I'll make it. I don't get to it because I spend time being present. That's, yeah, partly for my fiance. It was a lot for my family. We dropped a lot of things over the last year to just go be with family.
You really
with
did.
Adam.
Every weekend you were gone for
Yeah.
quite a while there.
We bought a house, tore everything out, had dumpsters in the driveway, and then we left for 6 months and just hoped that the house didn't burn down. And from afar, yeah, I'm curious, Mary, how's this going to go for you? From afar, tried to manage projects and things, but it was really just about being with my family when they needed me, when we had the time. And I feel like the same thing now goes for kids. You probably spend a ton of time with your kids. Matt goes to school full time to daycare, and I need that. But when he's home and he's with me, like, I don't get up in the morning and go to an office at 8 a.m. So he crawls into bed with us every morning and gets to lay there and snuggle. And we have a 45-minute bedtime routine, and we read and we laugh. I see a lot how it can be easy to just put your kids in front of the TV or put other things aside because we all want to be busy, busy, busy. It changes people. It changes your relationship, both for the short term and the long term with them and what they remember.
I
Like,
would
my
even
family's
add
all
to,
going to
like,
remember this last year as how much time we all spent together.
I think when you say that to me and where I am and what I believe, it's not just the memories of physical memories they have in their brain. If those are called physical memories, I'm not sure. But it's a feeling that they carry with them the rest of their life. And like that feeling, that warm feeling, that feeling of connection is just so beautiful. I think when people talk about young families traveling or taking trips, they're like, well, why are you going to do that when your kids aren't going to remember it? But I know that in my heart that they will remember the feelings that they had with us spending time together, and we get to also cherish those memories that we will carry with us. So I think that's really beautiful. Even if he doesn't remember in your bed every morning for 45 minutes, he remembers that feeling that he had next to you.
Exactly.
And I just think
we're just trying to
can't take that
build
back.
that within him, and I think within us as my immediate family, and then, aunts, uncles, parents, sister, the people that you don't see every day. But
So, Callie, how are you doing that? Working full time with 3 kids and a spouse and a house and chickens
And
that you're
homeschooling.
and homeschooling.
Yeah.
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 Oh, man. I mean, I think I kind of switched my approach to this question way through.
I love it.
I got to thinking that, like, and a lot of this is like generational knowledge. And that was like the connection that I kind of went with, because in the back of my head, I still, like, my dad is alive. Just put that out there. But I still hear his voice. He also lives next door. In the back of my mind, I still hear him all the time. Like, anytime I commit to something, I hear him tell me, you need to finish what you start and you need to do it to the best of your ability the first time. Growing up, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much pressure. And maybe turned me into a little bit of a perfectionist, but I so appreciate it now, because anytime I commit to anything, I'm in 100%. And I think that goes a lot with my kids. I mean, I got so many things going on, and I made a note on my phone the other day of like, and I just called it my hats. And I wrote down like all the different things that I'm working on. And I think there's like 7 or 8 different like major projects or commitments that I have.
Maybe one
And-
day we can do a podcast on like what your like daily routine looks like homeschool, because I'm very
Yeah.
interested.
It changes every day.
Writing it down.
no matter what,
Have
it's
to
their
follow.
their
Right.
consistency is you.
Yeah. And really, like,
And it can change.
that's homeschooling. Is my biggest way to like connect with my kids because, like, I mean, like I said, I'm a nerd. I love science, so we do all kinds of like crazy science experiments, and that's like counts as learning and fun and play for everybody, including
Connection.
me. And
Connection. So and my son would love to be, he's 10, and he just built a taser at school. Like they do passion projects. So he built a taser. Last year he wired a house. So like he would love to be, he's ADHD, not medicated. And this is why we looked into alternate options for schooling. He would want to be in your homeschool co-op if you had one.
yeah, we do have a co-op.
Nice.
Yes, it's called Home on the Rock. Shameless plug.
So good.
But yeah, just like the generational knowledge that I feel like I didn't appreciate as a kid because I thought it was so much pressure. But like, I want to pass those things down to my kid because I've now seen how well it serves me and my family. I mean, it makes me want to show up because I want to give them my best. I want to give God my best. And what more can I ask for?
Speaking of Jesus, our habit number 2 is Bible daily or daily quiet anchor. And I know my girl Priscilla has an affinity for this one.
I don't know
About
about that. Well, it's really been life-changing because I grew up Catholic, left the Catholic Church, and then went out to the world.
Me too. Were you too? Me too. So much guilt. Go ahead. I feel it.
And then went out to the world. Yeah.
I know. I agree.
And we used to live here in Sunbury, and we moved to Akron. But I tell my husband, I said, I think we moved to Akron because we were meant to find my child's school, which is our church too. But as soon as I walked in those doors, I was looking for a preschool at that time. I walked in and I was like, my gosh, like you just feel this peace. And it was all new to me because I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. So she goes to school there. So we started going to church. My husband goes every now and then. But if I don't go or if I don't watch it at home, I just feel like I miss something. Like I miss something special, like if you don't take your vitamins one day or something like that. Going to small group is my me time. I know we talked about just showing up and you guys talk great about showing up for your kids, but going to small group is showing up for myself. And so like, yeah, we show up for other people, but how are we showing up for ourselves?
So I have a daily devotional. Guess how many times I've picked it up?
how many?
0. No, 0. It's sitting on the mantle. I get 0. I get 0. And actually, we have 2, and we were going to do it together. And just this conversation, if nothing else, like has made me want to start doing that. It's like you said, putting in time for yourself and your relationship with God.
Yeah.
Okay, so my mind is blown right now from what you just said because so I was there. I bought all of the devotionals. I bought the journal. I bought the Bible. I bought the one for women. I bought the one for moms. And they looked so good on my bookshelf. Like they were rocking it so much. I didn't want to move them. So I left them there. And then this is crazy. I'm really, really proud of this. And it has been a game changer. So this was on my list too. But since September 10th, I have read my Bible every day. Now, props to the Bible app because that's the little device I've been using. With full disclosure, I did miss one day. Fun fact, the Bible app lets you restore your streak if you miss one day.
He forgives.
Yeah, he forgives. It's so great. But I will say, I never thought about just showing up because like sometimes if the verses, I'm like, oh, this one's not for me. I'll just be like, not in it. Did it, but check. But honestly, yeah,
To do
The power of
Still,
checking off the list.
just showing up is still going to move you forward.
It is. Yeah. And you don't have to show up like have your little space and be all formal about it, right? Like you can show up in your car, turn up some worship.
The thing I was thinking about here is like sometimes we don't feel like worshiping or we don't feel like reading our Bible. We might not feel it, and that's where these habits kick in because if you've built the habit, you'll do it even on the days when you don't feel it, and then eventually your emotions will catch up.
And sometimes we don't feel like momming and we have to go out there and be a mom.
I think for some people, though, that didn't grow up in a home with relationships with God, that will look different and like maybe more difficult. Like we grew up in the Catholic Church. but I wouldn't say I had a relationship with God.
Yeah.
It was you stand up, you sit down, you say the same prayer, but like to have an intimate conversation with God, to ask for help, that wasn't something that was of practice in our home. And when I'm saying this at no fault to my parents, I mean, I don't know how to do that in a way with a practice as someone who does. And so it's and my husband, he grew up without really religion. His dad, Jewish, his mom, Christian, but not practicing. And now we go to a Methodist church together with our kids. And it's been a really good fit for us, but we're still learning. And in some ways, our kids are teaching us what that
Yeah.
conversation looks like with God. Like my son came down from his room, and we have like kids' Bibles that are. Do your kids like those books with all the pictures? What are those called?
Comic books.
Not comics. Yes, comics. They're called. Yeah, they're called. Can't think of it. But we got them those, and he came down. He's like, "Oh, I was reading what we were talking about in church today." He started talking to me about it. He started talking to me about the difference between joy and happiness, and I was like, "Whoa, mind blowing!" And so, I think in my mind, like having a relationship and putting that work in is important, but also like people can teach us that are outside of our immediate family what that looks like, and to be open to that. And that's something I'm working on because it's uncomfortable for me. Most of my weaknesses stem from like me being uncomfortable with myself, not from their reactions or their teaching. So
I think to your point, and that's foreign to me because I grew up Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday, and we cleaned the church. We did Bible school. My mom volunteered. I had to memorize all of the verses for the Bible school, like the whole 9 yards. But I think the easiest thing is maybe for you one of those apps that is more like a checklist that makes it feel like you're checking something off. Maybe that could be something that gets you over that uncomfortableness. Is that a word? So our third habit that will change your life is accepting the mistakes and moving on. Allison, I've got you down for this one. And I also have a quote because this was from a couple weeks ago and I wrote it down.
This was not in the email, by the way, and I laughed when I read it.
This is so good. You've got to become a disaster before you become the master.
I love it.
So accepting your mistakes and moving on, but give it to us. Give us something good.
I am the disaster. My house is the disaster. I am the disaster. I was the disaster that drove here and missed the exit to 23. I am disaster.
I took a wrong turn too.
Expired tags, did I not?
This is stressful.
But I wasn't that person before. Like before, when it's me in my 20s, early 30s, cruising, like when it was me and that was all I had to worry about and life wasn't super complicated, I mean, and accept all these roles, right? You start to take on these like multifaceted roles as a human being and you put on your different hats. It's really easy to just do one or two things and be good at it. And you have your, tunnel vision on. And then like some things in life fell apart. Relationships didn't work and it took me another way in life. Your kids make you kind of become a disaster. Projects that you think are going to go right and right to plan and to schedule and the right materials are going to show up at your house with the right contractor and it's not. And yeah, it kind of ties into, one of these other ones on here, I feel like maybe, but I don't know. Just
accept your mistakes and move on.
Experience it. Yeah, you experience it. And it's taken the rigid type A personality in me and definitely had to like tone it down, scale it back.
I showed up to doctor's appointments on the wrong day.
Oh my gosh, I've done that like 3 times in the last few months, and I'm like, what is wrong with me?
And beat yourself up and be like,
I'm kind of finding humor in it, which is like not cool because I don't actually miss the appointment and like screw someone else over. But I'm like, okay, I've learned to laugh at myself when I used to like beat myself up, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I don't know.
Well, I think too, these are all not to like rank our failures, but these are all very vanilla. Like I'm going to come out with a bad one right now. My best friend's wedding in she's in Washington. I really enjoyed the wedding and I was so shameful the next day. And thankfully, I mean, it was just my husband and I and my best friend's wedding and I did the best friend's wedding thing. But I was like, man, I am so embarrassed. And I really sat with my shame, but at the same time, I didn't complain at all the next day, forgave myself, and I haven't done it again since. So
How bad was it? Like,
it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. I think I shut down the wedding.
Okay, it's really good.
It's my best friend's wedding, which she did give us some tips that I'll throw in today. But yeah, I mean, it was fine. It was fine. I made some inappropriate comments, and but I found a Bible verse for this. Isaiah 43:18. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. So I wish I would have had that the next day, because I would have been like, oh, that was yesterday. Now today we're moving on. But regardless of the level of shame or, just not spending time with our kids, like, it is grace. It is okay to move on to the next thing. Now, don't make habits of the next day being like, oh, it's fine, Jesus forgives, let's go to the next thing. But yeah,
How much of that situation, though, was you just being critical of yourself versus like what other people were saying? Because 9 times out of 10, I find that we're giving ourselves a hard time. Like nobody around us, it's like, well, it wasn't that big of a deal, Mallory. Like, we internalize it and we're so critical. And then the grace, I think, has to come with ourselves. Like nobody else is the ones that's giving us the hard time. It's like ourselves. And I struggle with that all the time.
That's
So-
anxiety kind of, right?
Well,
I mean, I have it, so I feel like I'm
Yeah.
feeling it. And that's what like anxiety is. It's like
no, you're right.
it's
Definitely.
exaggerating maybe what you think
Yeah,
everyone
like
else is.
ruminating on something that doesn't even
Yes,
exist. But like you
ruminating.
take one situation and you think, well, somebody might have thought that, and then you run with it.
Then you spiral.
And then you spiral.
And I
Like how many times did people come up to you and say, that was just, I mean, you might have had maybe one or two your husband.
But yeah, to your point, that'll be one of the bad habits that we're leaving behind. Definitely one of the good habits is just accepting your mistakes and just plowing back forward. Like, put it in the past. It's there. You can't change it. The only thing you can do is just give grace, accept grace, and move on.
that's really hard though. That
It
can
is
be
hard.
It's very hard for me.
It is hard.
And it's
Because
not
my-
always immediate, I will say. Like, sometimes these things are one night things. Other times it feels like it's a bigger something, a bigger rut you're trying to get out of, a bigger hump you're trying to get over. And it's not just like oh, I missed the doctor's appointment and that was a fluke, but like some things kind of carry on, and it's hard to live in that and know that at some point there's going to be a plan and you're going to get out of it. But like, I don't always know the plan. If I had more trust in God, I would.
So this actually reminds me of something, and then also into the next one. So when I was in my yoga teacher training, you have to, like, part of the training, you have to sit and meditate. And each time you sit and meditate, you have to sit a little longer. And I think this goes with all of our habits. The same thing with that level of self forgiveness and giving yourself grace. The more you routinely do it, the easier it is to forgive yourself. So I guess there's that too, like just continuing that practice of self forgiveness. Is that the word that I'm?
I think it's hard. Like you said, there's some things that are bigger when it affects other people or it's affected your relationships over a time. That can be really hard because you have the guilt, you have the shame, and it's not necessarily as easy as just being like, okay, I'm sorry. Like you're searching for an answer or a way out and being honest with yourself. And I think for me, at least, like there were several times, but there's one in particular where I'm like, I needed to be honest with myself. And that was really hard.
So Mallory's is next. Stop overthinking. Just do it. Girl,
Oh, man.
give it to us. How do you do it?
When we're talking about lists, I don't mean task lists necessarily. Well, I guess they're all tasks. But it could be as simple as we were talking about relationships at the beginning and like maintaining them, right? Like you can have that really deep connection with somebody and you're chatting all the time, and then life gets busy and you forget about it. Honestly, my lists are as simple as check in with Kelly or reach out to my sister, or Brittany said she had an appointment for IVF, check in with her. It's those sort of things. So like I get overwhelmed with everything you need to do in life, not to mention your career and being a mom and working out. So you have the self-care. How do you maintain all these relationships? How can you be a sister, a wife, a mother, like all these things? So like the list is truly what do you need to do? And sometimes you need to check in on others. And so that's on my list. And I just cross it off. So it could be it's as simple as just checking in, and I feel productive because I have this perpetual feeling that I have to be moving forward and doing something. And sometimes that means moving forward with relationships. But I mean, a bulk of it too is how can I progress in my career? So do these things and build these connections with people. So the list could look different every day, but as long as I'm doing something to move forward, I just do it.
I think that's beautiful though. My to-do list is not like that. My to-do list is laundry.
Yeah.
And then it's like pick up kids, and then it's jujitsu, And if I could even just once a week add in a relationship piece, I feel like that would be a good goal for me.
Yeah.
Because you said it, like we get so in the mundane.
It's horrible that to-do lists are jobs and tasks and not based on like, what do I need for this part of my life? What do I need for this part of my life?
Yeah, just taking a moment to think, who haven't I checked in with?
Yeah.
Because they'll do
And
the
so
same
it can
thing to
frame
you.
your totally different
Yeah.
like
And when they
approach
do
to the
it to you,
list,
it's like
or what goes on the list.
Exactly. Just
What's important
spend the
enough to
moment
make the
think
list.
about it. Then you don't have to think. It's like in the back of your mind. You don't have that back of your mind anymore.
It's on
write it
paper.
down.
I mean, mine
Yeah.
is paper. I
Well,
like paper.
like whatever.
Yeah.
I
I
love
just
it.
put it in my phone real quick. Yeah.
To do. My new to-do list is to-do list.
To
Relationships. So do my
And
to-do
then
list.
cross
with
that off.
Yes.
To do.
Yes, I can't wait. It's going to be so
Problem with to-do lists. Because if I do something that's not on my list, I write it on my list so that I can
You
check
have
it off.
to.
You have to. Yes.
Well, then why'd you do it? Yes.
The satisfaction of
Yeah, it's like a
they're
dopamine rush.
Right?
Right,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
If I make a call, I'm like, oh, that wasn't on my list. Done.
Okay, I'm clearly ADHD, not medicated. This is executive functioning, okay? So I'm going to tell myself.
I mean, I went through a phase of my life too where I probably had postpartum depression and was like, not, what's the word that I want? I was ignoring it.
Realizing
Not
it every
treat it?
time.
No, like
Aware,
I'm gonna
not
recognize
self-aware,
it.
yeah.
Whatever that
in,
word
in
is.
denial?
In denial.
Got
Yes,
you.
I was in denial. And my to-do list was like, put your socks on, brush your teeth today. And my husband, my rock, and pulled me out of it. And he kind of told me, he was like, you should probably talk to somebody. And I was like, I'm not. I'm a mother. I'm a woman. And
Was
I
this
can
with
do this.
Aurora?
No, this was with Roran.
Okay.
My first. And that was hard, but my to-do list got real simple, but also so important to me because that was the thing that helped me get out of bed some days.
See, what I do is
Tell
at the
us.
end of the day, I look at what I did, and then I feel accomplished.
So
What did I
liberating.
do today?
That's another episode.
That episode is going to be like how to approach your day. You are like an end of the day reviewer. I am like a start up here, end down here because I'll beat myself up. The negative self-talk about how I didn't accomplish the to-do list. Mallory, you're like, I know it's going to get done and I set a realistic list. And so I feel like you're kind of in this steady state.
Does this go with disasters?
So you juggle so many things. And I mean, yeah. How do you approach your day?
We're picking up eggs and we're finding the chickens.
Totally. We are. And it's okay. Like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but my 5-year-old, he's so cute. And every day he'll be like, hey, Ma, I'll be like, hey, Henry. His name's Henry. I say, Henry, can you go get the eggs? He's like, yeah. He runs out to the coop and he comes out with his hands behind his back. He's like, Mom, guess how many? He goes, we didn't have any eggs today. Guess how many we had? I'm like, none. He's like, yeah, no eggs. And he goes, tricked ya. And he pulls out like 5 eggs. And then every time one drops on the ground and cracks open, and like, I just have to laugh. So then we just fry it up and then we feed the eggs to the chickens, which sounds really weird, but they really like eggs.
One more habit that I've been working on myself is to remove bias. Lead with love first. And this one is hard for me because I don't want to say that I'm a grudgy person, but it's hard for me to forgive. And another verse for this is Philippians 2:4-5. In our relationships with one another, have the same mindset as Christ Jesus. And that one is deep for me because if you cross me, I'm not going to forget it.
That mama bear comes out.
Yeah, the mama bear, even if it's not involving my kids. But that makes me self-check myself because that's not fair. That's not how I'm treated. And I think my husband is really good at this. Maybe it's a guy thing, but I think my husband does a great job of just, every day is a new day and everybody gets a nice clean slate.
Same with Kyle. I'm like, you're careless. It's not, right? Like, I shouldn't view it as careless. It says here. But it must be kind of this, like, go with the flow. If it's, I'm not going to let it affect me.
I just wonder if they're less judgmental, kind of, in general. My husband is not go with the flow. He is anxiety ridden and he loves to get things done, check things off too. But he is very much, it's okay. Let people be how they are.
I can't remember what it was. Something happened at a meeting a couple months ago and I came home and I was just roaring through the door and my husband was like, whoa. And I mean, I mentioned it a couple times, like I'd be washing the dishes and I'd be like, "Rawr." And he's like, are you going to let it go now? And I'm like, anyway, lead with love first. That is the habit there that I I really want to do better with. All right. So we will get to the summary of all things good habits here in a little bit. But before that, we are going to go into bad habits to ditch before 2026. I didn't plan on that rhyming, but ditch 26. Okay. So the first one is toxic people, toxic work. Does anybody have anything fun there? I can't be the only one.
I feel like I've pulled back from work in a professional way. Yeah. The physician staff supports me, but not always the administrative staff. And sometimes I don't feel respected there. And so I have scaled back and taken less of that on.
That's good. So you,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
I mean,
doing
it
the
helps
good
me,
thing.
try and do some of these other things. So yeah, I did see it. And I was like, maybe that's not the best place for me. And it might not help me to be gone all the time just to be working, to be earning money, to be using my degree when there are other places and other resources and things that appreciate me better and that sometimes fulfill me a little more.
Do you think leaving?
I love my career, but
yeah. Do you think putting some of that time behind you, though, freed you up and helped you get into the next stage of where you were going?
yeah, I do. I mean, I had to, and it's hard because it's my profession. This my hopefully last degree that I ever use. And it's my main financial source, but it couldn't be about that anymore.
In that place.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's far away, creates some tension between my husband and I, fiance.
Yeah, no bueno.
I know. So we're getting there.
Yeah, I experienced some of that same stuff when I was in grad school, and I was in a PhD program for molecular biology, and like the whole science community,
Super competitive.
so competitive.
Yeah.
And I had people in my lab who were married and living states apart from their spouse because they were both in these programs, and that's what was expected of you. And I was like, no, that's not healthy. You're going to rip my family apart. And I had all three of my kids while I was in grad school. I was in the perfect lab for that. God set it up so beautifully to be in this lab where my advisor was like, family first. And that is not the norm in science. But I really struggled when I decided to not pursue a science career because I'm a scientist who is also a mom. And it took me a very long time to flip that and be like, no, I'm a mom first who just happens to have a science degree. And switching that, I felt like I totally lost my identity when I decided not to go science because that was my identity.
Yeah.
And so when I was just a stay-at-home mom, I was like, what am I doing? Where's my purpose? It took me a very long time to be like, wait, my purpose is my kids. What am I doing?
You're doing science with your kids?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. So, but that's
Yeah.
really hard when there's so much pressure to have a career. And for a lot of people, it works out really great. But if it's not working for you, it's okay to take a step back and do something else.
I think what's hard about this is I lived it in my recent past, but I'm also mentoring someone who's in the thick of this right now. And they're in an employment where they have to continually take on more jobs. They don't get paid more for it. And it's physically draining, it's emotionally draining, mentally draining, and it's holding them back from moving themselves forward. And literally every couple of days, I check on this person. Hey, I'm still here for you. Do you want to come to this meeting this week? And they're like, I got to train somebody at work. And I'm like, why are you doing that? But I think one of the habits that I would like more people to wake up to is if you're somewhere that's not serving your purpose and just holding you back from whether it's family or if it's just holding you back or bringing home drama, get rid of it. It's not ever going to push you forward, ever. Get rid of it.
I actually, in PA school, met somebody who was the definition of this. He was a fly by the seat of your pants. Good things are going to happen to me. Put out good things will come back. If it doesn't give me something positive right now, out the door. And I was so the opposite of that. And just seeing what his life was, just what got brought to him, opportunities, friends, events, chances to grow was unbelievable. It was eye-opening. I'm like, and you just trust and you just keep searching for the good and somehow the good finds you and you find the good and everything is good for you and you never have bad luck and you never get the speeding ticket and you never do, like his life was just amazing, but he intentionally did this. But I saw that and I'm like, that's crazy.
I don't know if this relates exactly, but for me, setting boundaries is difficult because I'm a people pleaser. So when you say get rid of, for me though, like I am like it's just so hard.
me right now.
I'm sorry. I'm triggering myself.
That's what happens when you get into this perpetual state of people pleasing. You take from yourself. You literally take from yourself. I mean, I was in such a bad place. I wrote this down in my notes. I gained weight. I had extreme anxiety, and I was bringing it home with me every day. Daniel, guess what happened today? And he would know exactly what happened because he's heard about it every single day for the past year. And finally, I mean, there were a few times where like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to step away. And every time he's like, great, until I finally did it. But then when I finally did it, look where we are. Only good things have happened. So I don't know. Back to drama and toxic people and toxic work. Don't stand for it. Get away from it. Run. It will never, ever serve you.
I'm going to practice that. There's someone this week at work doing it. I don't know what's going to happen.
But also remember,
It's better
remember
ask
the good
forgiveness
habit.
than permission.
Remember the good habit is, lead with love first.
Yes.
So both of those things.
Set firm boundaries that are not going to be.
And you may be like, it's not anything against this person. It's not working for you.
And I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to fuel the fire. So what happens is like at work, same person. And I really have a hard time because it's what the person is supposed to do is not what's best for children. And that is our sole job, is do what's best for children. And it's not an opinion, it's a fact in my mind. But we talk about it, and I'm not going to talk about it because that like brings me to a place of like, I feel like it's ugly. For me, it's not good. It's not a good habit.
You're gonna go crazy right now.
Yeah, go.
My other toxic trait, and this is kind of pooling into the drama, my other toxic trait that we're not taking forward is talking. This is not in your notes. This is handwritten. The bad habit is talking. Proverbs 17:28, Bible verse for you. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent. Speaking, like, no drama either. So, of this experience that I'm talking about, my toxic stuff, I've had several people reach out to me and they're like, oh, I can't wait to hear the story. And I'm like,
How do you deflect it?
it's not good. It's not good for my mental health to talk about.
Just say, I don't have capacity.
Yeah, it's in the past.
Yeah.
It held me back and now I'm moving forward. Watch out.
I had a situation recently where I won't go into details, but a huge blow up. Struggle, drama. I'm not a drama person. I get out. I don't have time for that. And I was right in the middle of it, and I was like, this is the worst place for me to be because I also tend to just say whatever's on my mind. And I was like, this could go really bad if I don't hold my tongue. And I ended up telling this person, if you don't want to have a productive conversation, I'm done talking. If you want to talk, if you want to learn, if you want to grow, if you want to be open, cool. We can talk all day. But if you don't want to be productive, I'm done. Yeah. And that was so freeing. I'd never done that before.
Yeah. It really doesn't help stewing.
No.
It doesn't help.
She tried to goad me into more conversations, and every time I'm just like, nope, done. And I don't know how she's feeling. I feel amazing. I'm just like, I feel so much peace that I conducted myself the way I was supposed to. I have so much peace about the other people who were involved and that they did what they were supposed to. And I have just been, okay, God, whatever happens next is what's going to happen.
That's the good thing at the end. Just
And
like,
man-
Jesus, take the wheel. Okay. Love that. Doom scrolling. So relevant right now, especially the holidays, because we're off work. We're with families. Scrolling. Tell us about it.
So much time scrolling. It's not even funny.
Make your list.
That's probably why I don't have
a list.
No, why I don't have a to-do list because I'm on my phone.
I am too busy to make a list. I have things to do.
It's so dumb. I mean, you waste so much time. I mean, yes, you can read Bible verses. You can, being a teacher, I get ideas from it too. But how many of those ideas do I actually go back to and execute them?
I am following, I unfollowed, but this woman who keeps singing to her spouse, and it keeps popping up. I keep sending it to my husband because it's so
Is it funny? It sounds funny.
because it's just pointless. I'm like, what am I doing? And my husband hasn't acknowledged it yet, so that's really taking me off. I need to confront him about it.
Just lead with love.
I was going to say, but why confront him? Like at this point, just stop. If you want to stop, then you stop and you don't hold a grudge against Daniel for not.
So So how do we stop doom scrolling?
Listen, I deleted all the apps off
What?
my phone.
What?
I deleted Instagram, I deleted Facebook, I deleted every game off my phone.
And you're in a marketing role.
I'm in a marketing role.
So what
like,
do you do? Desktop
I
only?
still have to, I can't totally get rid of it because I have to be on for Facebook and stuff like that. But I only get on my computer and I limit myself to only business twice a week. I mean, I make YouTube videos. I have to get on and and read through comments and stuff. And the internet is nasty.
I don't have any social media, so I feel like I was living in Spain when what was MySpace came out. And then so I just never got into it. And I would be the person that would be like, compare, not enough, sadder, sad, crying.
Yeah.
So I just can't.
So something positive has to come out of your doom scrolling, otherwise you wouldn't keep doing it. Like if Mary just gets this comparison.
Yeah. I mean, it entertains me. And then I tell my husband, I'm like, how is it any different than you sitting watching a TV? It's just a smaller screen.
Yeah.
It really is. Just a
Well,
smaller
I think the
screen.
science is that they're so fast. It's changing the brain. So it's quicker hits of dopamine. So it's just like now there's fewer commercials. It's the same thing. That's why they're talking about screens and children is the dopamine hits and it's changing. The
Literally changing the brain.
synapses. Scientist here. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's a rough one. I know we talked about that earlier.
I don't know that I can delete it though, because I mean, having children that do sports and
I'm not saying to delete it.
Mine's
I wish I
limit.
could. I wish I had the
Can we
power.
limit?
Do you wake up and do it right away? Is that your
Not all
reason
the
to
time.
not get up and go? You're almost procrastinating. Is it a tool to just kind of pause everything around you? I say that because it is for me. And when we talk about limit, I just don't do it in the morning. But I'm definitely doing it at night. Like when the TV's on, I'm also scrolling. So I probably like the dopamine.
I mean, my husband said the other day, the best part of his day, I mean, getting in bed is his favorite part of the day, but
The end of the day is his favorite part of the day.
then he'll be like, and he's like, I love this part of the day because we trash. It's just trash. Scrolling.
But it doesn't have to be scrolling. So I will say, I have a phone and we sit down at night. We put the kids to bed early and we sit down. We have morning connect time where there's nothing. And then we have nighttime and we put on a show or something, which we don't really watch, but we put it on. And he'll get mad at me because I'll be on reading an article. So I think it's a similar thing. Maybe it's not the exact same thing.
Presence and connection.
Presence and connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could be anything, but that's such an easy go-to.
Okay. The important part for this too is I think it's so important to think about yourself. And if it becomes a problem for you personally, do what you need to do to make it not a problem anymore. For me, I had to delete it. It had to be gone completely. That's the only way I was going to stop.
Not me, your neighbors. Memes.
Sorry, I'm not getting them.
Good.
My mom too is like, I sent you all these things. And I'm like,
Was that the
sorry.
phase you said you were in? Adapt?
Yeah. So I just think it's the fix for one person is not the fix for everybody.
I completely agree.
You have to figure out what's right for you in your situation.
I think
All
that's
right.
really good.
Hillary, you are going to bring us home with our last bad habit, not taking rest.
Yes. So the list is always listing, and I'm always having to cross things off. But I'll get just obsessive compulsive about just always needing to move forward and be productive, that I don't rest. So I might say, okay, tonight, it's Sunday night, it's 6:00, dinner's done, let's chill. And I'm not let's finish laundry, let's check the yoga emails, let's all these things. It's just not healthy. I have no break and I need the break. And so I personally want to be better about saying, no, this is dedicated downtime. And that downtime I'm spending with Arlo, my son, my husband, Noah, and I'm going to be present. I have to almost be intentional because it does not come naturally. I don't plan that in my day, but that's actually more important than probably the laundry that needs to get done or checking in with others if I'm not even checking in with myself. So I will try to be better about that.
That's such a good one, though, because you're so good at listing. Just put 30 minutes of time with Noah or 30 minutes of time with Arlo.
Date or,
Yes.
I don't put the energy into that.
Because when you check that off, you've done two things.
Feel good about that.
But I totally get it. I mean, we're renovating our house as well, and I have 2 kitchens now. But the old kitchen is the new laundry room, but the washer and dryer are downstairs, but I like to fold my laundry in the old kitchen. So it looks like a kitchen, but it's got 6 baskets of laundry. but it's in the main strip of the house. And walking by that every day, I mean, the other night I decided to have a birthday party for Bradley, and my husband's like, yeah, you invited a bunch of people over. And then I was a mad woman through the house because it was a disaster. And he's like,
Was that the sleepover?
no, that was a whole nother, that was another adventure. This was 2 days ago, but we got all the laundry done. But I am okay a lot of times leaving laundry in baskets because you can't do it all. Like, you have to make time for, like, we've been doing family game night. I know you did this on a Friday night. No phones, just game, a board game, popcorn, candy, all the candy. And again, it's about the memory.
Our son loves making a fire. So he makes a fire on Friday nights in the fireplace. And then we all sit down. We get to eat on a blanket in the fireplace room until they don't like what I made. That was last night. I made chicken masala and it was too spicy. My son can smell cumin a mile away. And he's like, oh, I was like, that's rude. So we went and ate cereal and we're all eating it. I'm like,
That's why we just do candy popcorn.
Maybe that's what I need to try.
All right, ladies, it is time to wrap up. And so many things have happened, but we are going to go into our top 3. So our good habits to keep or to adopt moving into next year, which is right now, is just show up. Connection and presence. Be present. Put it on your list if you have to. Show up.
I think, can you put like intention in there with your showing up?
Yes.
Because Callie and it was interesting that we came at that as a different way. Callie's like, I'm very intentional.
Yeah.
And I was more like, I can be there.
Very well said.
I think those two go together.
Show up with intention. Adopt a daily faith habit. And stop overthinking. Just do it. Whether it's putting it on a list or showing up for yourself, whether it's showing up for your faith practice, just do it. So those are our 3 takeaways for our good habits. And then habits we're leaving behind is get out the drama. Leave it in the past. Don't talk about it if it doesn't serve you. Doom scrolling. Now, it's funny because you also said this was your bad habit, but you're like, I love this habit. So it's not a bad habit for you. Well, it will just say put intentional parameters around your social media. Is that better?
Sure. I'll put it on my list.
You don't have lists.
Okay, so put intention around your intentional practices around your social media, and then don't skip your rest. We kind of got off of that,
I think,
but don't skip your rest. We're scheduling you.
She's got rest on her list.
It's on
the list.
I'm going to say even God rested on the 7th day of creation.
Yeah, but then he
And
put us here
How much is that like?
with all this crap.
Yeah.
It was a different time when he was able to rest.
The way they didn't have like electricity or toilets. So I feel like.
Or social media. Oh, that's another.
So many memes to catch up on.
Okay, so you're right. Yes,
Yeah.
God did rest, but he wasn't in all of this stuff. And he was a dude. So, but still, put it on your list. Okay, so if you, Allison, one takeaway for all of our listeners, go. No pressure.
Put me first. You know, it's so cliche to say, but I think, balance. Like, this feels like a lot to do, even in talking about what are the 3 things I should keep doing, and I got to keep that up, and I got to get better at those, and then these things that I have to stop doing, and I have to be intentional about stop doing them. You've got to find the balance between all the good and all the bad and not focus on them both, and that has to be really small for me to start.
Hey, that's
really, really, really small steps.
Pick one. Then is your advice. Pick one.
So yeah, we have two things here, but balance and small steps.
Perfect.
I sort of have 2 also.
Oh, one.
One of mine probably overlaps with yours, and just like pick one thing to start with and just improve one thing at a time, because I'm the queen of I'm gonna eat healthy, I'm gonna exercise every day, I'm gonna read my Bible every day, and I'm gonna clean up my entire house, and I'm gonna get all my laundry done, and it's all happening today. And then none of it happens, and I feel like failure.
Yeah,
So
I wake up and today's the day, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's not the day. Tomorrow's the day. It's like I probably don't work. I work, but I feel like in my head I don't work.
Yeah.
And then it's a new day to tackle it, and
yeah.
I got to be happy with the one thing.
So my one
Small
takeaway would be like pick one thing at a time. The other thing that I've learned a lot, and I think it fits, we haven't really talked about it, but it fits with all of these things, is like just do your best every day. And one day, your best might be getting all the laundry done and getting all the dishes done and cleaning the entire house and getting all of your work done. And the next day, your best might be,
Sitting with your kids.
and let that be okay.
I like that. Do your best every day. Mine is just going to be the Bible. I mean, everything changed for me when I was intentionally doing it. And I would say I was like 3 to 4 out of 7 days. But after, I mean, I think I'm on day like 89 of every single day. And I can't tell you how many doors have opened and just a complete shift in my mindset since then. So that's mine.
Mine is a Bible verse. It says, Matthew 6:34 says, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." So, I have it written on one of my walls that says, "One day at a time, if not 1 hour at a time." And that's kind of how I live
Maybe
my
that's
life.
why-
And I think that you do what's best for you. Like my husband is very check off the listing. I'm not. So that
Right.
works for him,
Right.
but that's not going to work. If I did that, I probably would be a mess, of anxiety. But if he lived the way I live, he's a mess.
Right.
So do what's best for you.
That's good.
And live your hour.
Huh?
And live your hour.
Yeah.
Or scroll your hour.
Mine's two things that are, one is personal, one is not. I'm going to, on my mirror in our bathroom, I write myself a note, whether it's like count to 5, like when I wasn't being patient with my kids, and I would see it every time I'm in the bathroom. But this one's going to be read Luke, because I can do that consistently. It's not long and it's for a certain amount of time. And I think that will hopefully give me some clarity and some good habits. And then the second one is I'm not going to talk badly, even if they're annoying and even if I'm justified. Like, I don't need to like say it out loud to other people. If I want to, I can write about it, but I don't want to like share that negativity into the world.
Just it. That's it.
Journal it. And the problem is I could put it on handwritten paper because I don't like putting it in my phone. So if I do that, I can't lose my journal and someone opens it. So that's because I put it on the same thing as my list. So
Okay.
Don't lose that.
Yeah. Mallory, bring it home for us.
I go back with balance, you said, but it goes still into the theme of adapting. I mean, I really didn't think about that until tonight, just how I need to adapt and everybody could adapt to what's going on in their life and giving ourselves grace when the balance is off one day, but then I'll jump back into the next day. I need to learn to be more adaptable with things that are thrown in my life. And I think by doing that, I could be more present and intentional. All the things, it all ties in. I just need to be adaptable.
Yes. Love it. All right, friends. That is a wrap. Thank you so much. You've got a couple habits, couple takeaways. Did I say that right? Couple takeaways. But yeah, I look forward to the next one. We will be talking about all God's grace during the hard times and share this with a friend who needs a little grace. Bye.